All right, time for Thirsty Thursday, and with 2025 right around the corner, time to make those plans to toast to health and a happy new year. And for most of us, that does mean raising a glass.
That's right. Fortunately, there's no need for a Prosecco. You could skip the champagne because we've got world-class sparkling wines made right here in Oregon. Here with some pairing suggestions, celebration inspo, and more is Chef Clayton Allen from Soder Vineyards in Mineral Springs Ranch. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
Great.
Appreciate the time.
Thanks for joining us. Well, Chef, before we talk bubbles, you run the Provisions Tasting Program at Soder Vineyards. So give us a little bit of a description of kind of what that all entails and how that influences you as a chef with your perspective on wine pairings.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Provisions Tasting Program at Soder is this multi-course pairing with food that we raise on the property. So we have livestock, vegetables, an orchard, acreage set aside just for that. And so I prepare food kind of pairing the wine that we grow and the food that we grow in this like wonderful meal together.
How fun is that to pair everything when it's so locally grown? I mean, in your backyard as a chef to be able to work on these kinds of things.
It's so inspiring. I mean, a lot of restaurants tout like farm to table, and to be able to do it at the most like literal level is just like every day coming in is fantastic.
Yeah, I bet. Well, I think, you know, a lot of people think about toasting for New Year's with that one little glass of sometimes room temperature champagne, and
Sure.
you don't really put it with anything else. So give us the chef's perspective, your recommendations for some bubbles we can pop during New Year's that can actually be, you know, really enjoyed.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a few different sparklings that we offer. The Planet Oregon Sparkling Rosé is a label that we have that is more budget friendly and would be definitely used best with like a little bit of a glass in the morning with a mimosa. It's got tons of awesome flavor to it and is all 100% Willamette Valley Pinot. And it's just out of this world good. Great bang for its buck. We also have stuff that we make on the estate with our estate's Brut Reserve, which is a non-vintage, like champagne style sparkling. It's got Pinot Noir and Chardonnay in it. Our farm is 100% biodynamic, and this one is probably my personal favorite. It's got these notes of like bright citrus and a little bit of that like baked bread, yeasty quality that champagne can have. And it's so stellar. And then something that's a little bit more elegant would be our Blanc de Blancs, which is all Chardonnay. So it's got about 6 years of aging. So it's got a lot more depth of flavor and nuance, and definitely something to pop to like bring in the new year when the ball drops.
Yeah, kind of like that classic, you know, New Year's celebration kind of
Absolutely.
Thank you for planning my whole day too. I love that you started with mimosas. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, we got breakfast, lunch, and that's awesome. Well, what about the food? How do we pair these?
Yeah, we do need some food.
We do need to absorb
too.
some of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. I'm one that kind of thinks that sparkling wine can be something that you could have for dinner instead of like a red or a white. So something like the Brut Reserve that I just mentioned would be really good with some sort of like roasted lamb with like a pistachio crust or something like that, something that you could prep ahead of time and just like throw in the oven when you're ready for it. And then if you want to kind of keep it a little bit more casual, you know, you don't want to be as elegant. My family always makes these sauerkraut balls where we take sauerkraut and roll them in breadcrumbs and then deep fry them with some sort of like aioli and a little bit of chili.
Oh my goodness gracious! What?
You can really get the highbrow, lowbrow, and it's very, very good.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I'm gonna have to bug you for that recipe. You know, just hearing you talk about food pairings, I'm like, wow, okay, this Provisions tasting experience sounds really fun. So I always tell people that this is a great time of year to get out into wine country if you're a local, because it's kind of the off season for tourism. So when is a good time to come to the vineyard for a tasting?
Absolutely. So the Provisions tasting experience that I lead is Friday through Tuesday. On the property, we do 11:30 seating or 2:30 seating. And then we have what we call the classic tasting, which is more of a wine-forward experience where there's just maybe some snacks offered at your discretion. And that's 7 days a week. And reservations are like 10:45 to 5. So pretty open.
Love it.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff to keep in mind. I want to try one of those kraut. Yeah, the kraut and the
Oh
kraut
my
balls.
gosh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds amazing, and
Oh my
I would
gosh.
happily pair that with a glass of sparkling wine. Well, Soda Vineyard Chef Clayton Allen, appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us, and happy
Thank you so
holidays and
much.
Happy New Year. Looking forward to the celebrations.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right, take care.
Cheers. Hey, if you'd like to check out Soda Vineyards to close out 2024 or kick off 2025, you can head to sodavineyards.com for details and to make reservations.